So F1 22 is now here, but it hasn't arrived without a couple of teething issues. Here are 5 that we think need addressing in F1 22. So, despite the large patch which fixed many issues within F1 22, there are still major bugs plaguing Formula 1 gamers. Here are the biggest 5 things that we believe Codemasters needs to address sooner rather than later. First up, we've got faulty My Team upgrades. We start with an undoubtable fault within the My Team career mode. As part of this game mode, you can upgrade your facilities to help boost your teammates' stats. However, despite the millions of in-game currency you can sink into these improvements, you may see no return for your investment. As far as we can tell, these multipliers and boosts to your teammates' stats don't work. This is because no indication of them being applied is shown. This is in contrast to last year's game, where you would see this. While this is particularly prevalent on PC, it has been reported on both the PlayStation and Xbox versions of F1 22 as well. Next up, we've got the punishing practice modes. The days of Formula 1 cars having 8 engines to complete a season are long gone. Nowadays, 3 or 4 components is all you have, and power unit management is more important than ever. So, you'd think that simulating practice sessions by using quick practice would help this. That's simply not the case though, as despite potentially doing less laps than driving yourself, these parts wear markedly faster. This is so bizarre, as you'd think Codemasters would apply the same multiplier as when you're driving the car. This would be an easy one for Codies to fix, but it is still apparently an issue for players. In third place, and a rather contentious issue for some, we've got the straight line speed of the AI. F1 22 is a challenging game, there's no getting away from it. However, the speed of the AI in certain areas of the track is a bit ridiculous. We're referring to the straights, of course, as the AI's speed down these is far faster than we can pull off. We found this is down to the unrealistic acceleration levels the AI can achieve out of slow speed corners. The AI then carry this down the following straight, gaining up to half a second on even short straights. Now, depending on the difficulty you're racing on, this may not be an issue. Although, for those playing on around 100 or higher, it really is, and it makes overtaking impossible around some circuits. This is in complete contrast to the new regulations, where cars are actually easier to pass than in 2021. The fourth thing to address would be qualifying and race pace balance. This has always been an issue in the F1 games, but F1 22 is taking it to a whole new level. We don't mean this in a positive way either, as the gap between the AI's performance in qualifying and race conditions has widened even more. It's not uncommon for us to qualify on pole by half a second or so, but be slower than the leading cars in the race. While race pace can be different to qualifying, that's just plain unrealistic. You almost have to turn up the AI speed in qualifying before turning it back down again for the race. This shouldn't be the case, as despite setups being a balance between qualifying and race pace, we shouldn't have to change the AI speed between sessions to keep the experience realistic. And finally, the safety car glitch. The 2022 Formula 1 safety car is faithfully recreated in F1 22. What hasn't been accurately depicted though is the pace which you and the AI can run at when there's a full course yellow. This glitch is completely random, but it isn't too rare and can ruin the experience. While a safety car is out, it has been known for the AI to run at a pace slower than the Delta. While this sounds good, it really isn't, because unless you're leading, you'll be held up behind them and your chance of catching the leaders is gone. If you are leading, you'll pull out a huge gap on the rest of the field and the race is effectively over. This is the equivalent of using God mode in an F1 game, and it ruins the challenge of the racing. Codies really needs to fix this one sharpish, because it really is so frustrating. So, those are 5 things that we think need addressing in F1 22. What do you think? Do you agree, or do you think there's others that need addressing as well? In which case, let us know down in the comments. I've been Toby for Racing Games, and we'll catch you in another video here on the Racing Games channel soon.